The new airmen and guardians before us this morning add light to this world, and we are endlessly thankful that you have guided them on this path to this moment of celebration. God, we thank you for showing us the meaning of light, the eternal hope that there will always be more light, and that the desire to be the light for those who may be afraid to come out of the shadows. We cannot do this work alone, and so we pray this morning that you are always with us, and that we may forever feel the comfort of knowing we walk beneath the sheltering wings of your presence. Please, God, continue to guard and protect all those serving around the world, that they go in peace and return home in peace, safely and speedily. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Zeev Lowenberg. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training and 1990 graduate of Basic Military Training, Colonel Jeff Pixley, accompanied by his wife, Andrea. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training and 1993 graduate of Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Leary Gaitan. From the Graduating Squadron, the Acting Commander, 321st Training Squadron, Major Jessica Hillard. The Senior Enlisted Leader, 321st Training Squadron, and 2002 graduate of Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Daryl Villard, accompanied by his fiancée, Jessica Argotsinger. Also in attendance with us today, the Individual Mobilization Augmentee to the Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel Olivia Nelson. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Ivy Duchesne, Blue Robe, Master Military Training Instructor. Colonel Jeff Pixley will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. 737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 321st Training Squadron, Flight 023, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 19 October 2021 to 2 December 2021. Signed, Jeffrey Pixley, Colonel, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest air and space forces. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen and guardians. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. Now passing in review from the 321st Training Squadron, the Commander of Airmen, Technical Sergeant Ivy Duchesne, Blue Robe, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Columbus, Georgia. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 033, led by Master Sergeant Joe Lubbock, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Flight 032, led by Technical Sergeant Devin Davis Roberson, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Savannah, Georgia. Flight 031, led by Technical Sergeant Joshua Rodriguez, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Wichita Falls, Texas. Flight 030, led by Staff Sergeant William Anderson, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Cedar Key, Florida. Flight 029, led by Technical Sergeant Paul Zamaron, Military Training Instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 025, led by Staff Sergeant Christina Prada, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Wellington, Florida. Flight 026, led by Master Sergeant Rajane Bailey, Blue Robe, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Wharton, Texas. Flight 027, led by Technical Sergeant Maximilian Baus, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Flight 028, led by Technical Sergeant Latasha Ross, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Phoenix, Arizona. Flight 024, led by Technical Sergeant Garen Hunt, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Detroit, Michigan. Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 023, led by Staff Sergeant Jeremy Hanatic, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Flight 022, led by Master Sergeant Zena Wright, Military Training Instructor, Hometown, Brooklyn, New York. Flight 021, led by Staff Sergeant Susan Jenks, military training instructor. Hometown, Palos Park, Illinois. Flight 017, led by Staff Sergeant Joey Belts, military training instructor. Hometown, Tars, Pennsylvania. Flight 018, led by Technical Sergeant Jenica Stringfield, military training instructor. Hometown, Kensington, Maryland. Flight 019, led by Technical Sergeant Kyle Case, military training instructor. Hometown, Los Angeles, California. Academic Excellence and PT Excellence Flight, Flight 020, led by Staff Sergeant Forrest Fender, military training instructor. Hometown, Valdez, North Carolina. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by graduating airmen and guardians from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Technical Sergeant Nathan Heald, military training instructor. Hometown, Yorba Linda, California. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Master Sergeant Leary Gaitan will now come forward and address our newest airmen and guardians.
Good morning. Hey, you aren't hearing me. Good morning. Moms and dads, brothers, uncles, sisters, wives, spouses, welcome to the birthplace of the American Airman and the American Guardian. Family, yeah, that's right. Family, I don't know about you, but don't they look good? So moms and dads, listen, I know I'm gonna keep my remarks short because I know all you wanna do is to hug their necks poke them in the ribs, and see if we've been feeding them right. But before we do that, there's a couple things I want you to know about your loved ones. They're going to be a little different now. They're going to walk a little stronger. They're going to square every corners. Restrooms are now known as latrines. But you know what, Mom and Dad? They have finally finished something they told you they're going to do. So as a parent myself, I don't know about you, but if you can do me a favor and get on your feet and let's welcome these airmen into United States Air Force and Space Force. Let me hear you. Again, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, and those you watching via live stream, congratulations to our graduates. The men and women who have come before you have lifted troops and supplies into the jungles of Vietnam, executed precision airstrikes in the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan, and to deliver humanitarian aid to villages in Africa, South America. They have launched missiles, flown satellites, defended airstrips, and by God, they have strengthened our nation partnerships. They have stood on the North Pole, the South Pole, and everywhere in between. And here they are today, ladies and gentlemen. But to our graduating airmen and guardians, I want you to know 3 main points that I'll leave with you today. First, there are days that your best will not be good enough. Therefore, as your chief, I want you to be patient with yourself. You see, nothing in nature blooms all year long. There's a time and a season for everything. So please, be patient with yourself on this journey. Next, the training and education you have received over the last 7.5 weeks, this is your dress rehearsal for life. This is yours to lead. So lead it well and lead it boldly. Lastly, what lies behind you, what lies before you are truly small matters, airmen and guardians, because you see, nothing can compare to what lies within you, and I want you to remember that. So therefore, as your superintendent at basic training, I hereby acknowledge your completion of all graduation requirements, and at this time, you receive your coveted Airman's Coin and Guardian's Coin. This signifies your transition today from trainees to airmen. And Mom and Dad, once more, get to your feet and let's congratulate them. Thank you. Military training instructors, you may proceed.
At this part of the ceremony, the military training instructors will distribute the Venerable Airman's Coin, and for the first time, distinct Space Force coins to our Space Force graduates. The lore of military coins has many colorful suspected origins. However, a popular story stems from World War I, where American volunteers formed flying squadrons in France during the Great War. One of the volunteers was a wealthy lieutenant who took great pride in his service and had medallions cast in bronze, with his squadron's emblem on them. He gave those medallions to every member of his unit. Not long after, one of the pilots was shot down behind enemy lines and was captured by a German patrol. The German forces confiscated the pilot's possessions except for the pilot's medallion that he wore around his neck. While in confinement in a small French village, the captured pilot took advantage of a nighttime bombardment by the Allies. He donned civilian clothes and escaped after crossing the front lines to safety. He came across a French outpost where he was initially thought to be a saboteur until he showed them his unit coin. The French forces recognized the unit emblem, and instead of any harsher treatment, he received a bottle of wine. Today, several military units have developed their own coins and specific rules for them. Many organizations give out their unit coins to recognize outstanding performances and achievements. The coins the airmen and space professionals receive today are unique in that they originate here at the gateway to the Air Force and are only given to those who complete this rigorous course of instruction. On one side of the airman's coin, the original emblem of the Air Force resides as envisioned by General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the first military aviators and later commander of the Army Air Forces in World War II. Beneath the emblem, the year 1947, the birth date of the United States Air Force, and around the rim of the coin, the core values of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the newly recognized emblem of the Air Force, a symbol that honors the heritage of our past and represents the promise of our future. The emblem retains the core elements of the Henry Hap Arnold emblem, the Arnold wings, and the star within a circle. The modern effect of the emblem reflects our Air and Space Force today and into the future. Inscribed in a half circle above the contemporary Air Force emblem is the Air Force motto, "Aim high, fly, fight, win." And on the border of the coin, a reminder to all who see this is inscribed, "Awarded on the occasion of becoming an airman in the world's greatest Air Force." The Space Professional coin also has a distinctive design. On one side, it displays the original emblem of the Space Force, the Delta, which was first used by space units in 1961 and honors the heritage of the United States Space Force. Beneath the emblem is the year 2019, the birth date of the United States Space Force. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the Space Force motto, "Semper Supra," which translates to "always above." This represents the Space Force's role in establishing, maintaining, and preserving our nation's dominance and freedom of operations in the space domain. On the coin's border is a commemorative inscription that reads, "Awarded on the occasion of becoming a charter member of the United States Space Force."
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take this opportunity to recognize basic military training's most outstanding performer, someone who demonstrated their ability to successfully navigate all assessments, testing their physical abilities, academic aptitude, and adaptability to the military environment through multiple progress checks. This airman has surpassed all others in the challenges of training and has earned the distinction of being the top graduate of this class. The top graduate is from Flight 025, Airman Paul Glover. Airman Glover is from Wolfe County, Kentucky, and joined the Air Force to become a biomedical equipment technician. In the stands cheering him on is his wife, Etta, and children, Nova and Atlas. The recruiter of Airman Glover is Technical Sergeant Brennan Wood, a 2012 BMT graduate from the 32nd Recruiting Squadron, Lexington, Kentucky. Congratulations. Flight commanders, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as a sign of unity as our top graduate leads us through the Airman's Creed.
I am an American airman.
Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians. Now, how about that squadron pride?
War hogs!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Flight commanders, place your flights at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Jeff Pixley will now come forward and address our newest airmen and guardians.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished visitors, and everyone on the live stream, good morning. What a morning it was. Emerging out of the fog and into the light, as the chaplain mentioned, what a great day it is to be with you. For those that are joining us online, I'm sorry you couldn't be here. But make no mistake, your love and enthusiasm come through loud and clear as we gather to acknowledge the incredible transformation our airmen and specialists made in such a short time. 7.5 weeks ago, we received the most valuable thing our nation has to offer: citizens willing to serve a cause bigger than themselves. These are your sons and daughters, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, and in some cases, your moms and dads. Your encouragement got them here. And I know the letters, phone calls, and probably lots of prayers motivated them as they stepped up to serve in the world's greatest Air Force and Space Force. I want to take this opportunity, yeah, you can clap for me, clap for them, clap for us. I want to take this opportunity to personally thank you for that support and encouragement. But more importantly, thank you for your trust. Putting a loved one on a plane or a bus to BMT has always been a significant emotional event. Doing so in the middle of a global pandemic and knowing they would miss Thanksgiving at home is another thing altogether. Your willingness to do so tells me everything I need to know about your love for our country. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all the active duty members and veterans in our audience. Thank you for your service, and thank you for encouraging your loved ones as they follow in your footsteps and carry on the honorable tradition of service and sacrifice. They stand, in fact, we all stand on your shoulders. Let's hear it for our veterans. The 709 men and women before you represent the best our country has to offer. Among them are 71 members of the Air National Guard, 47 members of the Air Force Reserves, and 30 United States Space Force Guardians, now specialists. These active duty Guard and Reserve members are now part of the total force, an agile team of highly trained and ready airmen and specialists poised to serve when our nation calls. These graduates represent the whole of our country. They come from across our 50 states, bringing with them their own backgrounds, histories, individual attitudes, interests, and idiosyncrasies. That's a good thing. Contrary to popular belief, when they get here, we don't break them down and build them back up. We take what you sent us here and we made it better. We build on the foundation that you gave them growing up, the values they developed as young adults, their education in high school or college, in some cases, their experience as parents. We embrace the diversity that America provides us and leverage it to create high-functioning teams who not only strive for personal excellence and embrace our core values, but who see the best in one another, lift each other up, and develop bonds as wingmen and teammates for life. Of course, they did not do this alone. During the passing review, you were introduced to some of our outstanding military training instructors. For every one that was introduced, there are at least 3 more who were instrumental in the development and molding of each graduate. These professionals are handpicked for this important role, leaving their specialties to spend 3 years investing themselves and sacrificing to create the generation of airmen and specialists who will one day replace them and me. Like our graduates, this diverse team comes from across our great country and bring with them tactical prowess, technical expertise, and professional experience. But the most important thing they bring with them are their leadership skills, passion, and dedication as non-commissioned officers. I can't think of a more important job than being an instructor at basic military training. And every one of them, in formation, in the stands, or back in one of the other 9 squadrons right now doing this amazing work, deserve our greatest thanks. Can we give a hand to our military training instructors and instructor cadre? Major Hillard, Chief Allard, congratulations on yet another impressive class. Today, the latest chapter in the proud history of the Warthogs is written, and I know your graduates are ready to take on the challenges our country faces. Airmen and specialists, you're completing basic training at an important time for our country. The challenges we face are daunting, and we're going to ask much of you during your service. Today, you're rightly focused on just graduating BMT, getting to the Riverwalk, and then getting to tech school. But before you know it, you'll be at your first duty assignments, operationally serving the important role you will play in strategic competition. You're at the very beginning of your careers. For those of you who stick around a while, you're going to experience mind-boggling advances in technology and innovations in how we train. As our services leverage the diverse talent of our force and provide developmental opportunities for all those who seek them, we will continue to make this a place where everyone can succeed, and the only limitations we face are those we place on ourselves. As we accelerate change, the pace of innovation and the power of our forces will only grow. In 2047, the Air Force will turn 100, and the Space Force will turn 28. It may be difficult for you to picture this, but some of you will still be in uniform in 2047. You will be the senior leaders. What our Air Force is as it enters its 2nd century will be in your hands. That begins today. So I have just one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space force? Let's do it.
Flight commanders, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Jeff Pixley will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians. Welcome to the world's greatest aerospace forces.
Thank you, Colonel Jeff Pixley. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Air Force song, followed by the departure of the official party. Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians, on achieving this historic milestone that marks the beginning of your career. At this time, we ask that all family members stay in their seats until further notice. Flight commanders, dismiss your flights. We ask that you refrain from running onto the retreat pad. Families with members in the Drum and Bugle Corps are asked to wait for their airmen at ECP 1 while they secure their equipment. All Airmen and Guardians will receive their cell phone from their military training instructor prior to departing for Base Liberty or Town Pass. Upon return, the drop-off point for all graduates is the visitor parking lot west of Building 6420 off Tremper Street and Walker Avenue. Graduation base